Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm here to talk about some of the best stocks to buy right now. I'm just going to give a short description, a short overview of around 5 stocks that I think you should really, get into right now. If there is a time to get into them, it is this exact moment, and if you wait any longer, I think they will take off. So if you do enjoy this video, be sure to like, also subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate you guys. Comment down below what other kind of videos you want to see. I appreciate all you guys subscribing, commenting, supportive messages. It means the world to me. Thank you guys so much. So let's get right into it. So the first stock I'd say that I'm buying heavy right now is Google. Google is a company that has been on a tear the past year. They've had a drop, but the past year they've been up a lot. They're up 25% past 5 years. Just an amazing company. I don't have as much as I'd like to have in Google right now, but if we do look right here, we can see that the P/E ratio for Google is the most compelling part of the company, I think. It is very low if we compare it to other companies in this sector, such as Amazon. We see that their P/E ratio is, almost 12, 13 points higher than them. We see Microsoft, their P/E ratio is also a good amount higher. It's around the 38 range. So that seems to be a pretty, common trend in the sector of this, AI Mag 7 space. There's some companies with even, much higher P/E ratios like Tesla and such. But I think Google is very good right here. I think that it's a buy you can't pass up on, to be honest. And not only the price to earnings ratio, but, the number of companies that Google is inside of, especially Waymo. I've made a lot of videos talking about Waymo and how much I believe in that. So I think that Google is a really good buy right now. They have the low P/E ratio. Their valuation is insanely attractive. They're paying out this 0.4% dividend now. And the Waymo thing is just, I think that's going to be, a $100 billion plus part of their business. And if this P/E ratio does rise to 35, around that range, at least 30, like how I think it's gonna, then this company is gonna be up at least 50%. And I think this is gonna happen pretty soon. Over the next 3 to 7 years, you're gonna see Google up 50 plus percent. I can say that very confidently, and I think that this is an easy investment at this moment in time. So that's the first investment I'd say you guys should make. I think Google is very good right now. This is not financial advice, but it is my opinion on these stocks and what I believe. So the next one, we have Cheesecake Factory. This is a stock I talk about a lot as well. I don't have as much in this stock as I'd like as well, but it is, I have a decent amount. But we see right here that this company also has a low P/E ratio. There's a trend right now with these first two companies that the P/E ratios are very low, but the stock has been on a tear. We see the past 5 years, it did drop. It had a moment of, weakness in the stock, but that's when we picked up shares for an average cost of right here around $40. And now it's a $61 stock. So this past year, the stock's been, insane. But we see, they pay out that 1.75% dividend yield. They're a relatively small company, $3 billion, and a lot of restaurants in this space are paying out a much higher, or they have a much higher P/E ratio than this. So let's check Wingstop, just as an example. Let's see their P/E ratio. That's an insane P/E ratio. $52 for a restaurant is pretty crazy. We have, Texas Roadhouse. Let's check that out. TXRH, look at their P/E ratio. This one's 26, so it's not much higher, but it's a good amount higher. And we see, this stock's been on a tear as well in the past 5 years. So I think that the restaurant space, there's a lot of room for growth. And, oh, wrong one. And also the thing with Cheesecake Factory is it's not Cheesecake Factory. When you buy the ticker symbol cake, it makes it seem like you're just buying a share in the Cheesecake Factory restaurant, the Cheesecake Factory company. But that's, that couldn't be farther from the truth. Cheesecake Factory is actually a owner of multiple restaurants. They have a Fox concept or a Fox restaurant concept brand where they have, 50 plus different concepts of restaurants that they're trying out across the US, seeing which ones are expandable, which ones are going to work out long term. And so far they found 2. They have North Italia, as you see right here, and then they also have Flower Child, which are 2 restaurants that are growing very rapidly. And if you read the earnings report for Cake, they actually say that they see over time 700 plus domestic locations for Flower Child. And just to put that into perspective, Cheesecake Factory, the restaurant, only has 200 something locations in the US. So Flower Child would be bigger than Cheesecake itself. I think that a rebrand is coming soon in the future for Cheesecake Factory. Their ticker symbol probably won't be cake forever. I hope it's not. If it is, then I think this company is going to be a lot cheaper than it should be. And until people catch on, I think that this company is going to be a great buy. They are up a little bit, but I mean, this is nowhere near where I think they should be. This is the beginning to something really big. So I would get into Cheesecake Factory right now. That is the second out of the 5 stocks that I have for you guys today. The third stock that I have is Celsius, who just crushed it in earnings. Not to mention, I'm up a lot on this stock. I didn't put that much in. Again, these are some stocks that I should have put some more money in. My portfolio is primarily the fifth stock on this list. We'll get to that. But we see that Celsius has an insane PE ratio right now. Their market cap is relatively, pretty teeny for this space. They do so. Celsius is an energy drink brand. If you don't know about it, it's pretty popular amongst the younger generation. But we see this earnings, they just crushed it. I mean, out of the water. That's why the stock is up so much. But I think this is still a good buy. I mean, look at this company. Look at how inflated this stock is and how up they are. But all time, this company's been $95. But what happened really, why it dropped from 95, it went all the way down to $20, is the growth rates for this company slowed down dramatically. And I think that, they're on their way back up. Another company that I can compare it to whose growth rates also dropped dramatically is Palantir. If we look at that company, it looks like a blip in their graph. They have $35 and then it dropped to, $7. That's when their growth rates slowed, and then they began to, come back up, and now it's almost a $200 stock. And it seems like every day the stock is green. It can't go down. It's pretty much impossible. But so Celsius is the third stock on this list. I think that, their financials are very good. They just acquired Alani Nu, which is another energy drink brand. And they're a very compelling stock. They're not that expensive. I think that at $51, I'm still going to pick up some shares of this company. They're, a company that I'd like to hold as well. I see, I go to college, I'm on a college campus, and I see a lot of people drinking them. I think that they're a product that moves fast, has a big, customer base, and they're looking good in the energy drink sector, taking a good amount of market share, that's for sure. So that's the third stock on this list. And then for the fourth stock, we're actually going to go with Elf. So Elf actually just dropped a lot from earnings. So we see Elf is down almost 13% in the past week. This is when they announced earnings. They were $111. They announced earnings. They went down to 96. So this company was sub $100 for a little bit, which wasn't scary at all. Actually, I was gonna say kind of scary, but I don't mind. I picked up Elf for very cheap. I got it for around $73 when it dropped the earnings before this. And look at what it did, after that earnings. It got all the way down to $49. That was a little scary, I'm not going to lie. But I believe in the company's fundamentals, and then they bounced back all the way to 128, right where they were before, because the earnings wasn't that scary. The tariffs, they got lifted, and everything worked out for Elf. I don't have any fear in investing in Elf all time. This is, a company that's done great for themselves. They've only been around since 2016. They're relatively young. Company was founded in 2004. And, this is a company that's very cheap, in my opinion, again, for what they had. They're the number one, leader in the beauty space. In makeup, they move the fastest. They just got a deal. They're going to be in a lot of Dollar Generals. The Elf is the fastest mover off the shelf at Target. It's a very popular brand. If you have, a lady in your life or someone that wears makeup, ask them about Elf. It's a very it turns a lot of heads. A lot of people know the brand. They're also getting into the skincare space, which I like to hear, because a lot of people use skincare, not because Elf being makeup, primarily a woman, female based customer base, and that's only 50% of the population. So you're cutting out half of the population. But now they've introduced skincare. So as with them already having their platform for being so popular, they have skincare as well now. That's two things that Elf has, and now they're appealing to 100% of the population, as men are getting more and more into skincare as time goes on. I use skincare. I might even start using Elf's. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to have to check that out. I might start using Elf skincare. Who knows? So Elf, very much believe in this company as well. I think that they're definitely a buy right now. Their earnings weren't as bad as the stock price reflects. They beat financially, and maybe their guidance wasn't as strong as intended. But I'm not worried. I think Elf has a lot in store for the future. So the fifth and final stock we're getting into today is AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. This stock has been on an absolute tear. Past year up 28%, but year to date they're up 41%. This wasn't the story. If you were talking about this company all throughout, 2024, they weren't really on a tear. As soon as March 8th hit, that was the all-time high for this company, and ever since, March 8th, they've kind of been on a drop. So they dropped all the way to under $100. They were in the 70, if I'm not mistaken, or the $80, or yeah, they were $55. That's 2022 actually. But in 2025, yeah, they were $85 a share. I should have picked up more at that price. That's a common thought in this video is I probably should have bought more of these stocks. A lot of stocks I have in my portfolio are up a good amount from the market dip. That's the thing you need to know is like if the market dips and there's high quality companies that are going to make it out of the dip, it's probably going to bounce back. And if it doesn't bounce back immediately, you can dollar cost average down for something that's going to bounce back eventually if you're investing in these quality companies. So yeah, I mean AMD, my largest holding by far. You see, I have $11,000 in AMD. I have about 64 shares, 45% of my portfolio. Definitely my largest holding, and we see that this company is pretty large. It's $280 billion, but I think this is going to be $1 trillion company one day. The way that they're positioning themselves and the chip they just came out with in their recent earnings, which made the stock price fall surprisingly, but it's bounced back since then. They were $160. They fell a pretty good amount compared to where they were. I think they're in the, yeah, almost 180. I think they did touch 180. Yeah, they were 182.50 cents. So yeah, this company was, they're on a tear still. The earnings set them back a little bit, but I mean, nothing bad came out in the earnings. I'm not sure what that sell was about. They're competing with Nvidia, the largest chip maker in the world. We see Nvidia is just another stock that can't seem to go down. If we check the past 3 months, they're at 55%, year to date up 34%, up 73% in the past year, and then you go all time. This is a good company that you should have invested in. One of those what ifs. Yeah, I mean they're $4.5 trillion. This is definitely the biggest company in the U.S. stock market. But I think AMD, being their number one competitor, they're right there with them. And once they do find that, I mean, they're very close. AMD is closer than I think they want us to know to getting their chip that's gonna compete with Nvidia and be right there with them. And then as soon as that happens and capex keeps increasing in these large companies, Google spending on AI, Amazon spending on AI, Microsoft, all of these companies are increasing their spending like crazy on AI, and I think that AMD is right there with them. They're gonna reap the benefits of that increased spending, and they're also in a big embedded segment, so they actually have a lot of technology that is yet to be used very heavily by these big companies that are using their capex to buy AI. And I think that that's going to change. That's going to flip in the next couple of years. And NVIDIA doesn't have that. NVIDIA doesn't have what AMD has in that embedded segment. So I think that's definitely something to watch out for. And I would get some AMD in the thought that they are going to, pop off with the embedded segment, and the companies are going to start putting more capex towards the integrated part of AMD's business. I very much do believe in that. And I think that they're still a very good buy right now. And I'm dollar cost averaging up in my AMD position. So yeah, guys, that's all I have for today's video. Saturday today, Sunday tomorrow, no market. Market's going to open back up on Monday where you could buy these stocks. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to smash the like button once again. Also subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.